Yo, what it do? Look, I'm dropping y'all a serious gem in this video today, alright? You've got to pay attention. So this is dedicated for my current plumbers and anybody that is thinking about getting in the plumbing field. I'm going to drop you a serious gem on something that can progress you from that median level up into something that's going to take you into retirement and allow you to have an easy, cozy lifestyle once you get towards that end of the career, or even something that you could do in the middle of your career that's going to make you some serious cash if you do it right. You cannot mess this up. I'm telling you. Check it out. Another whiteboard special presented by me, of course, right? We are going to be talking about real estate investing for plumbers. Now, some of you might not think this is important. Some of you guys might not want to even invest into real estate, or the thought of it kind of scares you. As somebody that has done it and is currently in it, not only am I a plumber, but obviously I invest as well too. I'm going to tell you right now, this is part of the secret sauce for setting yourself up for retirement. You ain't got 401k, you don't want to put your money towards that. You want to do something different. Maybe you want to branch yourself out, into the real estate world. Boy, I'm about to drop a gem for you on this one, all right? What is real estate investing for plumbers? You know what I mean? Basically what it is, got two facets to it. It's buying homes, right? It's buying and investing into residential properties. If you really want to take it to the next level, you could go commercial with it. I don't know nothing about that world, so I'm not going to expound upon that in this video. But what we are specifically talking about is either flipping houses or holding houses. The difference between those two are, obviously, if you're flipping a house, you're buying it, you're fixing it up, you're selling it, you're getting rid of it, you're moving on to the next project, right? If you're holding it, what you're doing is you're buying a property. It might already be in rentable condition, might even have a renter in place, right? Or you might have to repair it and get it up to a point where you can rent it out to somebody. And then you're holding on to it. Maybe you're going to hold on to it for a couple years, decades, maybe you'll pass it along to your kids. That's what a hold is for this, all right? But why is this important for plumbers? Because anybody can do real estate, right? Anybody can buy a home. Anybody can flip a house. I've worked with people who, they don't know what the hell they're doing in anything else in life, but they know how to buy properties. They know how to flip them. They know how to wholesale them. They know how to make some serious money doing this stuff. But plumbers have a serious advantage when it comes to real estate. And this is why I'm going to break it down for you. And this is part of why I even started getting into it as well, because it is a complete no-brainer. If you know what you're doing, if you got a little bit of cash sitting on the side, or maybe you have the right connects, you can make this work, and it's hard to screw it up if you do it right. Why should a plumber invest in real estate? It might sound scary. You're dealing with houses, you're dealing with tenants potentially, or you're dealing with the sale of a home. But why? Why should plumbers deal with this? It's simple. We as plumbers deal with some of the most integral parts of a home, right? You like this house I drew? I took an immense amount of time to get this house perfect just for this video, okay? But the point is, as plumbers, we deal with anything water related, anything sewers, and anything gas related as well. We don't touch the HVAC, we don't touch electrical. That's little piddly stuff compared to these. This is the lifeline of the home. If these components are not working, you don't have a good house, right? You as a plumber or a prospecting plumber, you are going to have an understanding of these components. And why is that important? Because they're some of the most costly repairs that can be made, and they're some of the most integral. So you as a plumber, when you're looking at buying a home, or especially flipping a home, all that cost of you having to hire a professional licensed plumber, all that stuff, out the window. It's you taking care of it, right? So let's put some numbers to it, okay? There's other things I'm going to get into it as well, but let's keep this part simple. This nice house here, I'm going to get in the way a little bit. This nice house here, right, that is situated in central Cleveland, one of the nicest cities in the United States, right? $100,000 price is what somebody's trying to get for this home, okay? Let's say you need to do a water heater, right? Well, that's like 1 to 2K. Let's say you need to repipe the house and do all the water lines. If you're going to pay somebody to do this, you know, you could be $2,000 to $5,000 to do this. If you need to run new fixtures to the bathrooms, you know, like your sewers and all that stuff, you could be easily $10K for like a 1.5 bath house. You know, we're not buying 1 bath houses. $10K easy for that kind of stuff. Gas lines for like a single family, you know, a couple fixtures, you could be another 2 to 3K, right? You add this up real quick, you're damn near hitting like 18 to 20K. Now I'm trying to do some math late at night off the top of my head, so these numbers might be off a little bit. Boo friggity who. Doesn't make a difference. The point is, just the plumbing alone in a house, to get a professional to do it, could cost you $18,000 to $20,000 for a small single family home. By you being a plumber, that cost is reduced down to time and materials. This could easily be bumped down to $2,000 to $3,000. Don't you fall, because I swear to God, I'm not restarting this. Already been messing around enough. What would typically cost somebody, if they're not getting a handyman, you don't want to be that person. Please don't be a schmuck and get handymans to do the work. You don't have to get the most expensive. Don't get the cheapest. Try to find somebody right in the middle of the road, right? But those repairs, single family home, in our market can easily cost you $18,000 to $20,000 if you're doing it correctly. You, as a plumber, with the tools, with the knowledge, the know how to do this, you could easily bump that price to $2,000 to $3,000. So imagine you're bidding, or you're up against all these other real estate investors, or whoever's trying to buy these homes. You are putting all that money in your pocket, essentially, that you're saving, or it's going to act as equity towards the home at the end of the day, because you didn't have to come out of pocket for that $18,000 to $20,000 to make those repairs, right? That's the easiest, most baseline conceptual part of this as to why plumbers should be getting into real estate. Just because you can go in that house and you already know, like, all right, I got to replace all these water lines, I got to replace these sewers. Normally this would cost me, $10,000 to $20,000. I get to save that off rip because I'm doing it myself. And I know what I'm doing because I'm a professional, right? So you're saving that money. There's a lot of other components to this as well, too, that we're going to get into. Excuse me. The other great part about this as well, too, that I have marked out here, value add. Look at it. This is a gem right here, okay? So let's say there again, you're looking at a single family home, right? You got these repairs, yada, yada. No big deal because you can do it yourself. But let's say you want to turn this maybe single bathroom house into 2 bathrooms, right? You want to add a second bathroom, or maybe you want to add whatever it is. Maybe laundry on the second floor or something. What that does is that increases that value of that house. So let's say at that $100,000, this $100,000, no, don't you do this. Put a piece of tape on here. Clearly it ain't working. Anyways, that $100,000 based off of like a 2-bed, 1.5 bath house, right? Excuse me. 2-bed, 1-bath house, $100,000. Value add. You're about to smack a new bathroom into this house because you got the space for it and you know how to do it. So now you got a 2-bed. You got a 2-bed, 2.5 bath house. That value add takes that $100,000 and let's say it turns it into $125,000, right? And honestly, that's probably figuring on the low end. You add a whole nother bathroom in the house, you could be talking a $30,000, $40,000 value add, depending on the type of market that you're in. Your average cost for that bathroom is that difference. So like a normal investor if they want to take that $100,000 house to $125,000 or to get it up there by adding in a bathroom, they might be able to squeak out a little bit of money. It's probably going to cost them like $10,000 to $15,000 to get that value add, and that extra $10,000 of equity in that home. You can add that bathroom yourself. It might only cost you $2,000 to $5,000 to do that on the low end for, cheap bathroom, nothing fancy. You're not tiling everything or making it the Taj Mahal or any of that. You're just trying to add a little bit of equity into it. So you're pocketing, on the equity side, another $15,000 to $20,000 on top of that. Because you know how to do that work, right? It's one of the easiest things you can do in a home is adding value to it. And that's by adding in a bathroom, Redoing the kitchen. That's another big one. Blowing out walls, making the kitchen bigger, making it more inviting. Typically, you got to move plumbing around to do stuff like that. You're saving a lot on those costs. And that's what goes into the whole scheme of this thing, right? And it works both ways. It works very well if you're flipping it. These are great things for if you're flipping a home, right? If you see a property, maybe it's in shambles, you got to redo all the plumbing in the house, and in the process of that, you're going to add a bathroom to it. You're not putting yourself in a better market to sell that house, and you can get a higher price for it because you added an additional bathroom in there. Or maybe you put the laundry on the first floor or the second floor, and you didn't have to pay retail price to get this stuff done. So you pocket all that profit. Or if you're holding it and you add these things into it, it goes into the equity of the home. Equity, unfortunately, is unrealized gains. It's not putting the money in your pocket unless you refinance it. I'm not going to get into all, that part of it. We're specifically just talking about plumbing. But at the end of the day, what it means is money in your pocket. And that's what's most important for us, right? So flip or hold, you add value to the home. You pocket the money. It's simple. You're a plumber. You know how to do this stuff. It's an easy value add for you. The other thing that comes into it is repair cost. And there's a couple things that go into this. So let's say you see a house pop up. You want to go check it out. Maybe you want to buy it, right? But obviously you need to go look at this house first. Most people are going to have to get a home inspection, which I would advise that you do. It's probably a good idea. You should get an inspector in the house. You as a plumber, though, somebody who has been in the field, been doing repair work, you've been in plenty of homes, you know what a bad house looks like, right? It's the other point on here. Is this home a piece of doo-doo? You're going to know instantly, just from the amount of homes that you've worked in, all the people you've dealt with, you're going to know as soon as you walk into this house, does it have potential, or is it a total piece of crap that you need to run out of that door as soon as you can? Doesn't matter how many bathrooms you put in it. Doesn't matter if you redo the kitchen. Money-wise, it ain't worth it. This is where a lot of people get stuck, okay? People that don't know how to invest in real estate, have no knowledge of construction whatsoever. This is the part that will screw them because they're buying homes that they think are in good shape, or they have no idea what they're looking at the plumbing. And the inspector doesn't always catch this stuff either. That's what you have to be careful of. I got some really good inspector friends. They know what they're doing, but I've met plenty of them out there that don't know 100% what they're looking at. They are not plumbing experts. They know how to look at a few specific things, give you pointers on it. That's about it. They have no idea the cost of any of that stuff. They're still going to tell you to call a professional. So you're going to walk into that house, right? And you're going to know right off the bat. You're like, all right, is this house a piece of crap? What's the condition of the plumbing? I'm also going to know just from being in properties, like, how's the electrical look? How's the HVAC system look? Does it look like I'm going to have to repair it? And if on the inspection report, if it does say that, the other trades. By being a plumber, you're going to deal with electricians, you're going to deal with carpenters, and you're going to deal with HVAC people. And you're probably going to deal with roofers, just from the standpoint of having to run your pipes and stuff out of the roof. If you're a qualified individual, you are going to have these people in your network. You're going to be able to call your buddy like, hey, David, what is this electrical going to run me? I need a new panel. I need this whole house rewired. Yo, Matt, what's this roof going to cost me? This is how big the house is. I need a roof on here. What's it going to run me? And you don't have to worry about these people bending you over. Unlike out-of-state investors or people that don't know what they're doing, they don't have these people in their network. That home that's worth $100,000 cost them $120,000 after the repairs. You're negative equity at this point. But you have the upper hand because you know the people that are going to do the repairs. They're trustworthy people. You're going to know whether that home is a piece of crap and you need to walk away from it and keep your emotions out of it. You're also going to know what those realistic repair costs are. And you're going to know how to add value to that home. Doesn't matter whether you're flipping the house or whether you're holding it. None of that matters. These are the key components that make this deal work. And the great thing about it too is, let's say if you buy a home, it's in good shape, you don't even have to do anything to it, right? And this is where my stuff comes in because I hold all my properties. I haven't really flipped anything, and I haven't paid close enough attention. I've got all the people in the network if I need to. I haven't dealt my feet into it, but I've got a lot of people I work with that flip homes, and I'm their plumber, so I know how that side of the game works pretty well. For me, I hold. The nice part about this is when it comes to the repairs. Becky's living up in my house. I'm charging her $1,000 a month for rent, right? Water heater goes. Boom. My company, we charge $1,400 to replace the water heater. You're telling me if that water heater goes in Becky's home that she's renting from me, and now I got to pay $1,400 for a water heater, that's my rent for like 3 months. Then now I got to play catch up on. I'm the plumber though. I come in there and replace the water heater myself, and it's just cost of parts. Becky has got a whole head of hair, and she keeps backing up my goddamn sink, or she's throwing all the grease down the kitchen drain, or taking those flushable wipes to clean her ass and putting them down the toilet. Guess what? I don't have to call a professional plumber. I am the professional. I save myself a majority of those repair costs. The other thing about it too is, just like we hear, you know the other trades. When your furnace goes, you got your boy you could call to pop you in a furnace. And you know he's going to do a good job, and you know he's going to take care of you. City's on you because the electric panel is outdated. You know, or it's like one of those specific standards that you got to get out of the house. Your boy, even if he charges you a fair price, right, you know he's not going to screw you over, and you know you're getting a good job. It's where all of this falls into place for you to have a good deal. So not only are you able to add value to the home very cheaply and get a ton of equity out of it, or put a ton of money in your pocket if you go to sell the home, you're able to do the repairs yourself. That's the big thing. So many out-of-state investors I work at. I live in Ohio, right? And in Cleveland specifically. There is a plethora of people from California, Texas, and the Carolinas that buy properties in Cleveland because they're so cheap. This is very realistic, that you can get a house for $100,000 out here. And honestly, if you want to go buy in the hood, you can get houses for $25,000, $30,000, $50,000, right? You can buy them cheap as hell. So these people out, in California where $50,000 ain't shit to them, they're buying a ton of houses out here. I do work for them, right? I understand how this dynamic works. They have no idea who the hell they're calling. They are banking that I'm going to take care of them and that I'm going to charge them a fair price and I'm going to do the job right. And if for whatever reason it doesn't go right or they need to, they can contact me. Could you imagine that? You live in a whole nother state, right? No management company involved. You're making a call to somebody that you don't know and you can't go out there and meet them. So you're banking that they're going to take care of you. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hate to even say it, I'd like to think about it positively that there are a lot of people that are going to take care of you, but there's also a lot of people out there that are going to screw you at the same time. Or they're going to come in, they're going to, do shoddy stuff around the job. They're not really going to do it properly because they know you're not there. They know that you're not going to show up and double check their work. which is also part of why I send my clients pictures so that they know that I'm taking care of them, right? But that's what you're banking on, that these people are going to take care of it. You don't have to deal with that because you can do the repairs yourself. Now, obviously, if you're investing out of state, which if you got the balls to do that, go ahead, be my guest. Personally, I'm not there yet. But anyways, if you're willing to invest out of state, at least you're going to know, because you're in the construction field, you're a plumber or whatever you may be, you're going to know when somebody's bullshitting you, and you're going to know what bad work looks like. And you're also going to know what good work looks like. And you're going to be able to find and trust those contractors to come in and do a job for you. You might have to sift through some of the bad ones, but at least you're not going to get screwed, because you're going to know off rip when somebody's sending you pictures of the work that they did, or just from talking to them on the phone. You're going to know whether they're a professional and they know what they're doing, or if they're about to bend you over and take you for a ride. Which is why I think, and I don't know enough plumbers or even electricians, HVAC people, roofers that are investing in the real estate. And it's like you're missing this whole entire gem. And for me personally, what I'm doing it for is retirement. I don't invest in the 401ks or any of that stuff. I don't have a money manager to handle that stuff for me. My real estate is my retirement, because you figure at this point in my life, after 30 years of paying for a home, right? When I hit that retirement age, that home is going to be paid off essentially. And all that rent is going to be coming in my pocket for retirement at that point. And we know that over the course of time, generally home values increase. Generally rent increases. There's not a point in history where you've ever really heard about rent decreasing. You know what I mean? So in 30 years, those rents are going to be higher. My property is going to be worth more. It's a great retirement setup. So for any of you guys that are not doing 401ks, or you're not investing in the stocks, you're just living day by day, you're going with it, and you have no idea what you're doing for retirement, this right here is the gem to get it taken care of for you. And you have all the knowledge to make this work. You got the buddies and the team that are going to make it work for you as well too. You can do the repairs. You can add value to it. You're going to put a shit ton of money in your pocket in the process of it if you do it right. In our market too, this obviously for this video purpose, the numbers, all that, these are single family properties. You can also get into multifamily. You can get into commercial. There's so many different ways you can do it. And there's so many different ways that you can make money in real estate. Wholesaling, buying, holding, flipping, just setting up the deals. There's so many ways to do it. And I think it's a completely overlooked gem by a lot of people in the construction field. Don't let the numbers scare you either, because I know people that have found ways where you can buy homes without even putting a lot of money up. Now me, I'm a little bit slower, alright? I personally go by the books, and what I end up having to do, I believe it's either 20 or 25% is what I have to put up to buy a home. And I usually front the repair cost. And then what we try and do is, if we can, we've made it work on one of our deals, you buy the home cheap, you do the repairs, and then you refinance it through the bank, and you get the money back in your pocket. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes you take a little bit of a hit. But if you're holding on to the property, you're totally fine. And that's one part I meant to touch on too, and then I'm going to end it. I've been going on this for long enough at this point. You should be looking for homes that need to be repaired. Damn, I totally forgot to touch on that. You need to look for homes that need to be repaired, okay? Because this is where other investors get scared. My biggest one that I try to look for with some of these homes are wet basements. We got every home out here has pretty much got a basement. We got a very old city, very old homes. It's very common to have waterproofing issues. People get scared by that because they know that a waterproofing job, it can cost them anywhere from $5,000 to, I've seen jobs that have cost upwards of $100,000, depending on how big the house is. Luckily for me, I've got a background in waterproofing, so I already know how to handle those situations. It's not going to cost me that. You know what I mean? So that's where my value can come in. And you, because if you're buying a home that's already fixed up and rented out, the only way you can make real money on it is holding it or like adding a bathroom, redoing the kitchen, that kind of stuff. Value add stuff. There's not a lot to it. If you're buying a home that is in distress and needs a lot of repairs, typically you can get it for pretty cheap. And that's where you save the money at, because you know how to do those repairs. You're going to save those tens of thousands of dollars on the plumbing fixes, the repiping of it. And the nice part about that stuff too is if you're going in there and redoing all the plumbing and you're repiping it, your repair costs during that hold for that property have gone down. Most of my houses I've done, well, I shouldn't say most of them. Let me not sit on here and cap. The one of them that I've done, I completely redid all the plumbing in there. I never get a single call that my water lines are blowing apart, that I got, leaking toilets or leaking water lines or sinks backing up, sewers backing up, things like that. It's all new. I don't have to worry about that stuff. In some of my older houses, I do have to worry about that. I've had to replace water heaters, furnaces, we've had to clean drains. Stuff like that comes up. But I don't have to call a plumber for that. I'm the one, I handle all that. You know what I mean? So I save on that top end, and I get to hold my rent. I don't have to throw that money away all the time. Which over the long term, it's more money in your pocket. Then you can buy more houses. Then you can invest more. It comes full circle. So this is exactly why, in my opinion, plumbers should be investing into real estate. And I would say it's the same for electricians, carpenters, roofers. If you happen to stumble across this video, you should be investing in it as well too. Because same for plumbers. We know the people. We know how to add value. You're going to kind of know the same. But there again, a carpenter, an electrician, HVAC person, your value add is not the same as what mine is. I can add a bathroom. What's the HVAC guy going to do? You're saving money when it comes time to replace that furnace every 20 years. You ain't adding a bathroom without calling me in. You know what I mean? So it's not the same. Same with the electrician. Okay. You can replace outlets. You can save money replacing the panel. How often do you have to replace a panel in the home? Almost never. It's like a one-time job. You're not adding in a bathroom without calling me. You'll be able to save money on the electrical side of the bathroom, but that's not where your value add is. Plumbers have the best chances of making the most money on these deals by the value add, by knowing the other trades, by saving on the repair costs, saving on the maintenance cost, and being able to create equity in these homes, whether you're flipping or holding them, and putting that in your pocket. These are things I want you to consider. If you are currently a plumber now, you should really be thinking about this. Drop me a comment too if you want to know like the type of numbers that you should expect to pick up, whether a house is a good deal or not. If you're thinking about becoming a plumber, if you're even considering it, which you should be because it's a great field to get into, this is another side of it. This is like side work or doing side hustles, things like that, hitting a side quest. This is setting up your retirement. Absolute no-brainer. I don't care if you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. You have a place to make money here. All right? My rant is done. This video is over. Please drop me a comment. Hit that like button. Let me know what you thought about it. If you're thinking about investing in real estate, whether you think it's a good idea in your market or whatever, hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's chip shop. You know what I mean? I love talking about real estate. I like talking about money. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to make money. Nobody's getting on here and watching these videos and be like, I don't want to make no money. I want to be broke. I want to be poor. I want to do the same thing always. Nobody wants to do that shit. All right. I'm out of here. Deuces.